So, if you've studied anywhere outside of the US, you already know the deal, right? To get into an American university or to land that dream job, you need something called a credential evaluation. And that almost always means you have to pick a service from NACES. But the big question is, which one?
You've probably spent hours, maybe days, just staring at a list of 18 different companies, and they all seem to offer the exact same thing. And look, I get it. It's a huge decision, and it can feel totally overwhelming, especially when your entire future is riding on it. Okay, let's just dive right into the problem. You do a quick search online, and what do you get? Completely opposite answers. One source says, yeah, sure, lots of them take PayPal. The very next one says, nope, none of them do. If you're confused, trust me, you are definitely not alone. This is what it's really like trying to research these services.
And it's not just about payment options, you know? The online information is this tangled maze of conflicting data, totally outdated pricing, and these really vague promises. Trying to make a confident choice feels less like a decision and a lot more like a blind gamble. And this right here, this is a perfect example of the problem. Just look at that price range. For what looks like the exact same service, a course-by-course evaluation, you could pay as little as $75 or as much as $425. And that's before you even add in rush fees or shipping. I mean, why the massive, massive difference? And it's the exact same story with speed. You've got one service promising a 24-hour turnaround, which sounds amazing, right? But then another one quotes a standard processing time of 6 to 8 weeks. That kind of crazy uncertainty can literally make or break your application deadline. So how in the world do you make sense of all this chaos? Well, the key is to stop trying to look at everything and just cut through all that noise. You just need to focus on three core factors. Think of these as the three pillars that are going to support your entire decision. Let's call it your decision framework. It's super simple: cost, speed, and convenience. Every single service out there can be measured against these three things. But here's the secret. It's not about finding the quote-unquote best service overall. It's about finding the one that best fits your personal priorities for these three factors. All right, now let's get into the stuff that most people completely miss. The first big one is what I like to call the digital divide. And trust me, this is a total game changer for sorting the good from the great. So here's a little pro tip. Think of a company's website as a window right into its soul. A modern, user-friendly portal with real-time tracking, that's a really strong sign that they have an efficient, automated system on the back end. On the other hand, if you land on a website that looks like it's from 1999 or it's clunky and broken, that suggests they're probably relying on a lot of manual, paper-based work, which almost always leads to delays and mistakes. Okay, building on that whole technology idea, let's look at another huge advantage. This one is really cool. It's a shortcut that can save you weeks of time and effort, and it all depends on where you went to school. So for anyone who graduated from university in Australia or New Zealand, listen up, because this term right here is your golden ticket, My Equals. It's basically this secure digital platform that universities like RMIT, for example, use to issue and share their official certified transcripts. Just think about it. The old way, you had to basically beg your university's registrar to mail physical documents halfway across the world. It could take weeks, documents could get lost, a total nightmare. The new way, you log in, you click a button, and you share your verified documents with an evaluator in minutes. Just like that. It completely skips the slowest, most painful part of the entire process. So the takeaway here is super simple. If you have access to My Equals, your number one priority, forget everything else for a second, should be finding an evaluator who supports it. A service like Educational Perspectives explicitly says they prefer getting documents this way. This one single factor could be way more important than cost or even their stated processing time. Okay, so now you have the framework: cost, speed, convenience, and you've got these expert insights. Let's put it all together. Let's build your final scorecard so you can actually make a choice. Okay, check out this sample comparison. At first glance, if your top priority is just raw speed, ICEE looks incredible, right? 3-day turnaround? But hang on. If you're that Australian grad we just talked about, EP's support for My Equals is a massive game changer. It gets rid of weeks of waiting for transcripts, which could actually make its total end-to-end time even faster than ICEE. See? This is how you use the framework to see the real trade-offs. And really, this is the bottom line. You have to stop searching for the best NACE service. It doesn't exist. Instead, you need to find the service that scores the highest on the criteria that matter most to you. It's a totally personal decision.
So, before you pull the trigger, just ask yourself these questions. Your answers are going to create your own personal scorecard. Is your deadline like next week? Okay, speed is your number one priority. Working with a tight budget? Cost is your main driver. Or what if your target university, like Capital Tech, actually has a partnership with Spantran? Well, that could mean a discount and way smoother processing, making it a top contender for convenience.
So there you have it. You now have the framework to turn what is, let's be honest, one of the most stressful parts of your application into a simple, confident decision. The only question left is, which service is the right strategic partner to help you get where you want to go?